Oh my God, hi. Okay, so you guys, I have a new signature eye look that I'm going to show you today. I wore it in a recent video and you were obsessed with it. So that's what we're going to do today. Yeah, it's mostly about placement for my eye shape. So I primed my eyes using the MAC paint pot in soft ochre, which is just an OG. I mean, absolutely an OG. I don't know what took me so long to get back to it, but it's fabulous. So we're ready to go. I'm gonna be using this new palette from Sigma, which is absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful palette, by the way, for bridal. Okay, just saying. It's the Vintage Radiance palette. So I'm starting off with this beautiful taupey shade, which is pretty typical for me. Love a taupe, love a taupe. And basically, I'm gonna be focusing this on the outer part of my, like just above my crease, okay? As I start to bring it in to my eyebrow, I'm lifting it up. So I'm bringing it into the front part of my brow. I'm not bringing it down towards my inner corner. So we're sort of swooping up to really create the definition in that eye socket. And this is actually inspired, very much inspired by when I did the Morticia Halloween look. And that placement was just, this is less dramatic than that, but the placement is the same. And I remember thinking that that was like the most flattering shape I've ever seen on my eye. And especially as I get a little bit older, I want to make sure that what I'm wearing is just like making me look dope, you know what I mean? So I'm making sure to kind of like look forward into a mirror and kind of fill in areas in the outer corner that might be light, because it can end up looking a little unfinished. I've had looks in the past where I've done this. I've left it a little bit more unfinished, like maybe extended the lid out. And I think it just looks a little bit better this way. So just building that up slowly, sort of like building up the contrast of that outer V, which is my favorite. That'll never change. I love a cat eye effect. I think it's just, it works for my face shape, my eye shape, all that real estate I got going on, like in general. So I'm picking up this slightly darker brown on a smaller, more detailed brush. You gotta tap it off so you don't end up with that fallout, you know? And then I'm gonna go into my lash line, the outer part of my lash line. I have loved using a shadow instead of a liner for this because it's just soft, it's quick, it's easy to blend. So if you're not a big fan of eyeliner, like, don't feel like you can't just replace it with a shadow. I am going to make sure to sort of like buff that slowly into that outer corner V. And you can see here, I'm sort of pulling that brush down towards the center of my eye because I had a little bit of skipping. So if you're someone who experiences skipping because you have a little bit like looser eyelid skin, remember that you have options for how you apply. I'm using that same brown and that same brush to just deepen up that crease a little bit, really kick out that eye socket. I mean, look at that. Like, stop it. Oh my God, I just love, I love the shape. Removing leftover shadow on my Sigma switch, I'm using that first shadow on that same brush, and obviously starting on the outer corner of the lower lash line, and then slowly working my way inward. I am patting, because when you swipe back and forth, sometimes, like when I'm lazy and I swipe back and forth, I can end up with shadow in my like inner nose area, and it just like ends up creating a bad shadow, so careful. I picked up a little bit more shadow and I'm just slowly like building this up. I love a smoky lower lash line. If you don't, you can skip it, you can keep it a little bit tighter, but just making sure to connect everything from the lower lash line up into that outer V. Gorge. Okay, I'm picking up a smaller brush and that dark brown, and I'm just like defining the lower lash line ever so slightly, like the lash line itself. The lower down you bring this, the larger it's gonna make your eyes look and more defined. You can keep this tighter to the lash line if you want it to be a little bit more sultry. And then I'm just using that brush and that same shadow to deepen up the lash line once again. So just a little backs and forths, you know what I mean? And then picking up this matte creamy, I guess cream shade, like this vanilla shade from the palette on my Sigma E54, and focusing this more so on the inner corner of the eye, of the lid. And just diffusing that into like whatever's left over, making sure not to cover up that brown, but I want to make sure that those edges are nice and soft. Look at how that opens up, like right in there. When I place that right in the inner area, like close to my nose, that light vanilla shade just opens up the eye. Now I'm gonna go in with my highlighter, bruh, from NARS. Dude, this is my new favorite highlighter. It's so good. It is slick, okay? On a little fluffy brush, and I'm placing this on my brow bone. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Look at that. Glazed donut. But yeah, I'm not like dousing my brow bone. And then I'm really, really gonna work this in that inner area between my inner corner and my nose, to really just open up that area that tends to become very dark based on like lighting and shadows. And that is just the finisher right there. Curling my lashes with my Shiseido lash curler. I've been loving this lash curler. And I start with like the middle, then I go into the inner corner of the eye, and then I go to the outer corner of the eye. And then I'm going in with this Buxom mascara. I can't remember what it's called. It'll be linked down below, but it's a nice like lengthening and thickening mascara. I actually like the brush. It's not waterproof, but we are going to be applying lashes, which is why I'm using this. Yeah, it's a nice one. I like it. And then obviously doing the lower lash line, obligatory to show you, but I really had to get deep down there in the mirror to be able to apply it like fully. When you get those details, like you just got to go down, you know what I mean? So so let's just take a second to appreciate the platinum layers. And then I'm applying just a light coat on the top lashes once again, just to kind of like deepen them up a little bit more. I wanted to be able to show you the finished result without lashes so that you could see how it looks. And I actually thought that it looked really nice. Like this mascara actually did a pretty decent job. So if you don't like lashes, then, it works. These are my new obsession though. Like they solidify my signature look 100%. Like I don't think that I could create the same effect without these lashes now. So if you're obsessed with them, like if you love the way they look, I highly recommend picking them up. They're so good. So I'm just using my Duo brush on lash glue. Typical. And yeah, sorry, I really had to get down there. But look at those. Like, are you kidding me? Oh my God. Now that's the highlight, the finisher. That is the finisher. Like, cut it out. So I'm just doing a little bit of squeezing to make sure that my natural lashes are slightly blended into my falsies so they don't look completely out of place. Be careful. That's the side by side. What do you guys think of that difference, dude? And here is the finished look as a whole. I absolutely love it. It's my new favorite. I'm glad that you guys loved it. I hope that this was helpful in recreating it. Please tag me if you do recreate and post any photos or anything like that. You're gonna be seeing me wear this a lot. Probably different variations, but a lot of this. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!